what's up, everybody? Welcome to The Stack. I'm Alex.
I'm Justin.
I am Pete.
And we've got 3 Newsarama reviews for you today. Avengers Fairy Tales #1, Wonder Woman #18, and FF555.
Whoa, not evil, not evil.
No, like...
Lucky.
Oh, close. Oh, is that the lucky number? All right, let's get right into them with Avengers Fairy Tales #1. What do you think about this issue?
I liked it a lot. It was beautifully drawn.
I like how you started that off already defensive.
I know you guys didn't like this issue. I can tell because of your stupid faces already frowning. And it's cool. It's a Peter Pan kind of thing. And
kind of. It's Peter Pan.
I know.
It's Peter Pan.
My only criticism is that they could have done more, gone more off the story. We all know what happens in Peter Pan.
Yeah.
We do.
And it's nice to see the Avengers and exploring a mythological world.
There are 2 things that shouldn't go together, and that's Peter Pan and the Avengers. I don't want to see it. I don't
know.
It.
Have you ever had Avengers jelly? Because that goes great with Peter Pan peanut butter.
Wow. Wow.
I have to say, first of all, this is a beautiful issue.
Yeah, it's cool
The art
looking.
is amazing looking.
It's
so
cool.
I would definitely say pick it up just based on that.
I don't pick it up, but look at it.
I do think my biggest problem is that I don't think that they mix well together.
Well, usually like you two. And now you're agreeing.
We're like peanut butter and...
Jelly. Don't touch me.
Okay. I like the Avengers stuff. I like the Peter Pan stuff. Peter Pan's a great story, don't get me wrong.
I love the use of Claw. There's a great Avengers villain.
That's what I think is great about it.
Yeah.
Is Claw is Hook. But Claw also generally has the powers of Claw in this story.
Yeah.
Which is great. I wanted to see more of that.
I agree with that.
Be an Avengers fairy tale rather than a fairy tale.
And I want to see, it would be great if they told over 4 instead of 1. That way you get to see kind of how they map the Avengers specifics over the fairy tale story.
I don't think I could have taken 4 issues of that.
Would you say,
died?
in total, pick it up? You'd say no, right?
No, definitely not.
You'd say yes?
Yeah, pick it up.
Okay, and I'm sort of on the fence, but I definitely lean towards picking it up just for the art, I think. Wonder Woman #18. What'd you guys think about this?
Ooh, you love this stuff.
I love this
You
too.
love this stuff. You love it.
It's about relationships.
Yeah, it is.
I love that.
Here, take my thorn bracelet.
Wonder Woman has a boyfriend.
It's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
There's some fighting later, but I stopped reading after that happened.
Oh, man.
It was very good. I liked it. The storytelling that she's doing in this book is fantastic.
Yeah. Gail Simone is doing a great, great job of writing classic Wonder Woman stories that feel completely new at the same time.
And Wonder Woman's one of those characters that has been handled kind of poorly. Like, the stories seem very repetitive and boring, and this is finally, like, a great new direction.
Yeah. What do you guys think about Wonder Woman having a boyfriend?
Well, I think about time.
I thought it was handled kind of in a funny way. Like, how would Wonder Woman be like, hey, would you be... I thought
So
it was
smart.
very funny.
Yeah. It's weird to me, though. I feel really weird about Wonder Woman having a boyfriend for some reason. Yeah. Which is strange, because it's totally fine for Superman to have a wife, right? And Batman to date all these girls.
Because you're sexist.
Yeah.
I'm sexist. Oh!
That's what it is.
Oh!
There's the
He's
difference.
Jewish and sexist. That's
all right.
Yeah. We're learning a lot about you
this
this week.
Mutually exclusive.
Who knows?
No, it's very strange because I don't think it's really been dealt with effectively.
Because she's a strong woman.
Right, and that's what I think is great about this, is somebody actually dealing with what if Wonder Woman had a real relationship. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's great they set it up like this is just the very, very beginning. So I think they're going to use that device a lot, which is great. Pick it up, definitely.
All right, let's move on and talk about FF555. We were, I think, a little critical of the last issue by Mark Millar and Brian Hitch. What do you guys think about this one?
Complete improvement.
Definite
really
improvement.
A lot better.
They're getting into the world of this building. The last issue left off with, like, here's a whole new world for Earth to move to once the planet gets blown up or whatever. And it's cool. The way they kind of flesh that out a little bit in this issue, and you see more about the developing rift between the Sue and Reed.
Yeah, the
marriage.
Another woman.
It's great. I mean, I was critical mainly because I felt like it was way too much introduction in the last issue.
Yep.
But I think it's almost, in retrospect, like they were rebooting the series in a way. Like, hey, here's the FF again.
Right.
Remember them? Remember how much you like them? This is how much
I never
like
forgot
continue.
them.
Neither did I. I really feel like it really
moment.
feels like a classic FF story. It's great.
Yeah,
it's fun.
it does.
It's big. All the characters are doing all the stuff you expect them to do, but in new ways.
And Human Torch is such a cat.
Oh, man, he cannot sleep with the ladies.
You would think that Reed, after all these years, he's so smart, he's a scientist. When Ben Grimm gives you advice on the ladies, take it.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Reed?
The other thing that I want to call out about the series is Brian Hitch's art, specifically the character designs for the FF, is so good.
Yeah,
it's so good because they don't just look like, hey, we're generic superheroes like they usually do.
Yeah.
It's Reed Richards looks like a dad.
Yeah.
And they look older, which is good, because
Yeah.
these are the older, they're like the mom and dad of the
Exactly.
Marvel Universe. It's great to see them actually look like that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Definitely pick this title up.
Reed Richards is my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a little...
That is a huge
Boom.
shocker.
You
Spoiler.
really fell
You'd
far
think
from the
you'd be
tree.
a little smarter.
Yeah. Or
he thought so too.
Okay. All right, after the break, we're going to have a speed round and one of your viewer mail, so stay tuned.
Hey, did you know comics have a long tradition of interactivity? Yeah. Before the internet, there were letters pages. Fans would send in questions and comments, and creators would print those letters along with their responses in the next issue. Now, these days, a lot of comics have ditched the letters pages, but Pulp Secret thinks some traditions are worth keeping. Send an email to tips@pulpsecret.com, upload a video comment, or leave a message at 888-841-7549 and let your voice be heard, literally. Pulp Secret, keeping the tradition alive.
Reed Richards is not your dad.
No, I have different powers. I have different powers.
Oh.
I have different powers.
Lame powers is what you have.
Why? I just
You
got a
have a-
haircut. That's one of my powers.
Is your mom that character with like breakable bones? That's her special power?
Yeah, she's the villain in Unbreakable.
Oh, weird. Samuel Jackson's your mom.
Reed Richards is your dad and Samuel Jackson is
So
your mom.
weird family. You should see
Yeah.
the reunion.
I like the.
That's great.
Marty McFly.
All right, let's move on with the speed round. Justin, you want to kick things off in this shizzy?
Kick it off! 12 number 3. This series is great. It's so rich, and it exists in the Marvel Universe, but it feels different in a good way. Pick it up.
I agree with you. Scud number 22 is so awesome, so much fun. I love the way it's drawn, the humor, the panels are just so great to read.
Invincible presents Adam Eve number 2. I think we were a little hard on the first issue, but I really enjoyed this issue a lot. It definitely adds to the backstory of Adam Eve in great and creative ways and builds on what the first issue set up. I'd say pick it up.
The new Dynamix number 1 is awesome. It's about Dynamix. Thank you.
Dynamix.
I was hoping to keep going,
Did
even
you,
though I stumbled over the word.
That great new cereal, Dynamix. yeah, it's great.
It's good. It's the oatmeal.
Can we get back to the comic a little bit?
Well, we're not done making fun of you.
Please.
We'll be back with you in a second.
Can I just explain? Because it has these candy eggs, and as the oatmeal cooks, the dinosaurs come out.
I know, and they're raw, or they crawl in your mouth.
I like to throw them on my face, and I'm like, no, Dynamix, no.
Here comes a comet.
Anyways, this comic is fantastic. I love the fact that we got a little color in an not all white comic book world, but it's mainly white dominated, so it's enjoyable to have.
Wow, that turn for the serious. The End League number 2. These guys didn't like the first issue. I like the first issue, and it's getting better. They're taking kind of the DC Universe style characters and destroying them. It's cool. I'm sounding like Pete right now.
You should have some of that
Badass.
cereal.
Yeah, I'm so hungry.
Oh, that's great. Oh, man, I wish I could have some of that cereal
Do
right
I
now.
do
All right,
that
let's
when
go
I
to your
talk?
viewer mail. Yeah, you're like,
Yeah, Dan. Want na 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 na.
all
That's
right,
a sound.
Superboy1, Superby1 from the forum says, I recently had a bad experience in a comic shop. Shocker. I was wondering, in terms of merchandise, staff
What does
service,
that mean?
and everything else, I'll get to that in a second. In between, what are some of your worst comic store experiences?
Oh wow.
Well, okay, I'll
Explain
go ahead.
yourself.
I'll go ahead and explain myself. Sorry to talk about nothing but Alpha Flight this week, you guys.
Yeah.
But I had a whole box
Every
of an
week.
entire run of Alpha Flight that I went into a store downtown here in New York that will remain nameless. And
Smooth.
Nice. King. I'll even give you the address at the end. We'll flash the address below, but it will remain nameless. I went in. I was like, "Hey, can I sell these back?" I wasn't, expecting thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars or anything. And he's like, "Oh, let me look in the box. Are these all Alpha Flight?"
I would have kicked you out of the store.
And he literally did this. And I was standing there. I was like, okay, fine. I'm sorry I liked Alpha Flight at one
That
point.
store has every issue of Alpha Flight that's ever been published.
Well, to be fair, it was the Alpha Flight comic book shop.
I know.
Downtown.
It's busy all the time.
Well, that's
So
what you
people
get
doing
for
it.
trying to sell your comics. You gotta cherish them.
Well, what's your bad experience? What's your bad comic book
I was really upset because one time I went to the store and I needed help finding a couple of comics that I wanted to buy, purchase, and the guy acted like I was, shouldn't be in his store while he was trying to read a comic. I had to find the stuff myself, which I asked him, I was like, hey, do you have this comic? He was like, oh, we're out of it. And they had it, but it took me 20 minutes to find it. I was upset, A, that their store was kind of like in a weird setup where it wasn't obvious where the new releases were. But B, the fact that he was like too busy reading to help someone out who wanted to actually help his store. So that was upsetting.
How about a good experience? My hometown store called the Comic Zone in North Syracuse, New York. I was out of town for like 10 months, out of the country, and I couldn't get comic books. And the guy saved 10 months of comic books for me. Came back, and I had like a year.
They stretched to the skies.
Oh, it was great.
And they were like, okay, that'll be $8,000.
I gave him a pint of my blood.
Oh.
That's what he wanted.
Your blood is worth $8,000.
I don't know. That's what he wanted.
That's what he Samuel Jackson mix.
That's right. It's potent. It's very potent.
That's a good blood. All right. If you guys have had
Is that an Italian vampire? That's a good blood.
I went to this really, really super weird pizza place last week. I'll have to tell you guys about it. That's for pizza, our pizza show.
Good sauce. Yeah.
The sauce.
Yeah.
That's the name of our show. That's not a different show. Okay. Woo! If you guys have had a good comic book store experience or a bad comic book store experience, let us know in the comments section below. Also, if you have another question, call us at 888-841-7549 or write it to tips@pulpsecret.com. And as I mentioned, you can comment here right below this video. Also, if you guys would be interested in advertising on this show, like if you got a pizza place or like
comic store, Samuel
or if you
Jackson,
have that Dynamix cereal, give us a call. Send us an email to tips@pulpsecret.com, and we will tell you how you can become
a
successful business through our internet comic book.
Yeah, definitely. You
Get
want
in on that web money. Come on in on it. Whole lot of web money to be made.
Just you can pay us in Dynamix.
Yeah,
See you guys next time.
Or blood.